What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shooky from Shook Earth Media, and today we're talking about Silent Hill 2 rumors. I'm very excited. We've been hearing so many rumors that have gone so many different directions over the past few years, and it's really feeling like there might be something coming soon that we hear about. I'm very excited about it. But as you guys know, as a huge Silent Hill fan, we got the Pyramid Head 2 figure over there, and also the soundtrack as well behind it. I don't know if you can see it on the camera shot or not. Yeah, you can, all the way to the left. So that's my little collection. I've played all the games. I'm a huge fan. So I've been saying for a while now, like, stop with the rumors. I've heard so many different things are in development. There's 3 Silent Hill games in development. Just shut up about it until we see something. But there's enough smoke here that and it's consistent with what we've been hearing for a while, so I'm starting to think this might be the real deal. So we got Bloober team potentially making a Silent Hill 2 remake. Now let's just first talk about the concept Silent Hill 2 remake to start with. So I will say I'm the first person to be very skeptical of remakes in general, especially one of the greatest games of all time. So I'm not really gonna go into it like super excited. I'm gonna be a bit more apprehensive about it, to be honest, because the original game was it was an artistic achievement. It still holds up to this day. Like, you can play it and it's still just as like impactful as it was when it came out. So especially if you get the enhanced edition on PC, the mods and all that, you'll have a great experience. So I'm going in with skepticism, but that being said, the Resident Evil 2 remake is one of my favorite games ever. And the way that they were able to modernize it, and the combat being so in your face, and you have to aim your shots, and I mean, we lose the fixed camera angles, which I really like, but we gain, it's a bit more of a skill test to pass combat in this game. So I'm picturing in my head what a remake could be, though, and it could also be one of the best games ever when you hold it up next to Resident Evil 2 Remake, which was able to do a lot with the source material, also while holding its own identity and modernizing it and having modern control schemes and stuff. So I could see potential for that. So I'm not completely closed off to the idea. But in Bloober Team, I'm a fan of theirs. They've done they're known for horror games, and a few years ago or last year, they announced a strategic partnership with Konami Digital Entertainment. So Bloober Team is known for horror games in the past. So we see Konami Bloober Team equals Silent Hill. That's like was my first instinct. But I would I would expect them to just announce that it's a Silent Hill game if that was the case. I mean, why not? So if you read this agreement, it's extremely vague. It does not really it's just it makes it sound like it's just a business thing. It's not talking about any specific projects. It just sounds it's an overall cooperation agreement, whatever that means, whether they're sharing technology or equipment or something, who knows. But they do actually mention Silent Hill down here, but it's just in the long list of franchises that they are responsible for. So that I instantly thought Silent Hill, but it's not, of course, an announcement of anything like that. So we've seen there's been partnerships announced like that that don't even amount to anything, So, but the Bloober Team's past, they are known for games like Layer of Fear and the Blair Witch game, and these are games that are horror-oriented, story-focused games, and a lot of people will call them walking simulators or whatever. I love those kind of games, so it's my right up my alley. But if you played their most recent game called The Medium, it's basically the Polish Silent Hill. It has the same composer from the Silent Hill series working on that game, and it's basically the same kind of concept, or somebody has to go to a specific place to learn something about themselves. It's a lot of the and there's a lot more to the story than that, and it's definitely a product of its setting. So I'm not saying it is a Silent Hill game, but it's very much like it. It has the fixed camera angles. It's one of the best fixed camera angle games I've ever seen. So I really enjoyed that game. It has a cool mechanic where it's like there's two worlds, you know, there's like an other world type of concept as well. But there's certain scenes in the game where it's split screen, you see both of them on screen at the same time. That's cool. And they do some really amazing things with the art direction in that game. It's very visually striking, so I recommend that game to everybody. But I played that game, I was thinking these are the people to do a Silent Hill game because they basically just did one. So the idea of Bloober Team making a Silent Hill game is very appealing to me. However, them making a Silent Hill 2 remake, I would be a little bit skeptical of because their past games are a bit smaller scale. Silent Hill 2 it's a big project to make a remake in the modern day. It takes a lot more resources to make games than it used to, and if you want to make a remake of one of the best games ever, something with the modern mechanics and technology and has a lot more combat. The past Bloober Team games didn't really have combat. The medium has some action scenes, like chase scenes and some like stealth scenes and puzzles, but it does not have like an actual combat or inventory management system. I just want to add that their game Blair Witch actually does have a combat system in it. It has like a stealth component as well, and you have player choice whether or not to kill or stealthily avoid the monsters. But it's a pretty basic, stripped down combat system. It's not as elaborate as Silent Hill, which has all the different weapons, or Resident Evil, a game that's even more complicated. It doesn't play in the same league as those games, and also they just don't have the same resources and number of people working on the game as Konami would have, unless they have gone through rapid expansion, which may be happening. So it's unproven as far as how Bloober Team would handle game mechanics like that, and also if they have the resources to be able to make something the size of Silent Hill 2. It's a fairly sizable game. There's a lot of content there, and it's a lot of work. So it's not easy, and Konami proved that when they tried to release it on PS3, and it was a kind of a disaster. The remastered version, I forget the name of it right now, but yeah. There's some interesting statements here that are leading to these rumors. So the CEO of Bloober Team says he can't comment on anything at this time, so there's no confirmation here. But he says that they require a certain degree of creative freedom when they're working with a partner like Konami or somebody who owns an IP like Blair Witch. So he's saying that they want to make it their story. Even this game that they can't talk about. There is a game in the room that they can't talk about right now. But they're saying that they still want it to be their story. It has to be a Bloober Team game. If we're not able to tell our own story, if we will not have creative freedom, it doesn't make sense because Bloober Team will not make a great game. So he's saying he requires creative freedom. Now, when it comes to a remake, the track's already laid there for you, and you just have to put in new gameplay mechanics, and there's a lot of new stuff too in remakes often, and Resident Evil 2 remake is very different from the original too. But to say this statement doesn't really jive with the idea of them making a remake. To me, this would jive more with them like, hey, we just want to take the license and make something new with it. So I feel like that's what I'm leaning towards more, or maybe it's like an alternate. Maybe one of the past Silent Hill games was called Shattered Memories, and it was kind of like, it was sort of a remake of the first one, but it was like a parallel universe version of it, and it was like very different, just kind of inspired by it. I could picture something like that with Bloober Team, but I wouldn't call that a remake. That's just kind of a spin-off. But there was a leak, and I can't show it in the video. So I did look it up, but we can't show it in the video because of copyright claims, and the tweet that has it was copyright claim. But the fact it's copyright claim to me shows that it at least was in development at some point, and they don't want it to get out. So it seems like it's real. So the rumors on this article here are stem from some Twitter journalists, I guess, gaming journalists. I don't know either of these two, but this guy, Nate the Hate 2, says Bloober Team working on Silent Hill 2 remake. reworked puzzles, new endings, timed PlayStation console exclusive. Now, I like the timed part because I don't have a PlayStation, but if I'm covering it for this channel, I'm gonna have to borrow somebody's PlayStation. I think I might have to call my friend Davey, who has a PlayStation, be like, "Yo, I need to borrow it for the channel. It's for the channel. I'll even give you a rental fee." Multiple Silent Hill projects in development. This is consistent with what we've been hearing for many years and reported in mainstream gaming sites. There's multiple Silent Hill games in development. One of them's like a Telltale style game with an interactive movie type experience. One of them is a bit more of like a sequel, and that's what we've been hearing for a while. So new mainline entry, like I said, and side stories. So this is consistent with what we've been hearing for years, but just categorize it as rumor because the Bloober team has some smoke there because there's an actual partnership going on. But of course, the partnership could be anything. I mean, Konami does have a lot of franchises, so who knows? You know, if what the actual project is. I'm assuming Silent Hill though, because they're known for horror. It just fits. And this guy Jeff Grubb is corroborating everything, saying he's heard all the same stuff from multiple different sources. Not all of my sources are primary, meaning that they are actually working on the game. So he says not all, so he does have sources that are primary. So I don't know why he wouldn't lead with that. To me, the biggest indicator is the stuff I've seen lines up with Konami doing a big reveal at E3 last year before it pulled out. I didn't hear about that. That's an interesting rumor. Last year, I mean, apparently they lost their chance because E3's canceled this year, unfortunately. Sadly, I love E3, man. See all the trailers and stuff? It was great for content as well. And just as I start making content, they cancel it. I mean, what the heck? Or did I do E3? I did a games conference last year, but I'm rambling at this point. You guys see what I'm saying? I'm excited about the prospect of it. The statements of creative freedom. I do respect the Bloober team's writers and stuff, and they can tell their own story. So if they're remaking Silent Hill 2 and it's very different, I think there's a chance it might be worthwhile, as long as, you know, the original one still exists as well. Please put it on Steam, Konami. What are you doing? If you're gonna have a remake come out soon, why isn't the original one available on digital platforms already? Silent Hill 4 is on GOG, for those who don't know. But yeah, anyways, I'm rambling, but yeah, I'm excited about it. The potential of Silent Hill games coming out soon. I'm very excited, and I hope you guys are as well. If you want to see more Silent Hill coverage, definitely keep it locked on Shook Earth Media. Hit the sub button and like this video, and I hope to hear from you in the comment section down below. Do you think it's legit? Do you like Bloober Team? Maybe not. Maybe some people think it's too walking simulator. It definitely is. We need more combat. We need new game mechanics, so they're unproven at this point, but I'm still tepidly excited about it. But I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out. Oh, and I have to get Akira Yamaoka to do the music for the game, or else I'm not buying it straight up. See you guys later.